This is an introduction to the stained glass windows at St. George's on the Hill Anglican Church in Etobicoke. The purpose of stained glass is not to see outside or to let light in, but rather to control it. For this reason, these windows have been called illuminated wall decorations. Stained glass is often called cathedral glass or antique glass. The same technique has been used since the Middle Ages to create it. Glass is made by heating ordinary sand until it becomes a liquid at about 1700 degrees Celsius. Stained glass is liquid glass that is colored by adding metallic compounds such as gold, silver, copper, cobalt, or selenium. In the Middle Ages, windows that contained red glass began to fade with time. When gold was added to the liquid glass, it became color fast. For this reason, red glass is very expensive. The liquid glass is hand-blown into sheets. The artist makes a sketch, then a full-scale drawing of the scene he wants to create. A pattern is made much like a dress pattern, so the sections of colored glass can be cut into smaller pieces. They're assembled on a glass easel like a puzzle. Pieces are joined together by lead strips and cement to make them watertight. The designer is part artist and part engineer because the larger windows must support their weight. For more complex scenes that are three-dimensional, the glass pieces would be painted with iron pigment to create shading and contours. These pieces are fired in an oven to set the paint. The process could be repeated several times to refine the image. Standing at the altar, you will have a direct view of the window over the door where St. George is slaying the dragon. St. George is the patron saint of England. At the back of the church on the left side is a window depicting the patron saint of Scotland, St. Andrew. Note the fishing net by his feet and the saltire cross at the top of the window. At the back of the church on the right side is the window with St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. Note the green snake at his feet, since he is said to have driven all snakes out of Ireland. Also note the shamrock at the top of the window. Turn and face the south wall of the church to view the Great Commission window. The top portion of these windows depict the Ascension and the Feast of Pentecost. Note the flickering bright flames on the right. The bottom portion depicts the history of the church within the village of Islington. On the left is an image of Peter Jacobs, the first Indigenous clergyman in Ontario. He married Susan Cooper, daughter of Reverend Cooper. They moved to Manitoulin Island. 2 years later, while ministering to his own people, he died at the age of 31. He was brought back to St. George's for burial. One of Susan's sister's descendants was the film actress Norma Shear. The center panel shows the area around the church as farmland. As the population of the area increased and the congregation grew, other Anglican churches were built. All Saints in 1944, St. Matthew's in 1952, and St. Wilfrid's in 1954. St. Wilfrid's is now the Church of South India. There is a large triptych, or three-panel window behind the altar. The first window is, "Touch me not, for I have not yet ascended unto my Father." The middle window, "The Walk to Emmaus," and the right-hand window, "And their eyes were opened, and they knew him." An outdoor spotlight is directed at this window during the candlelight service on Wednesday evenings. There are more stained glass windows in the office area of the church. After Christ Church, Mimico was destroyed by fire, their windows were removed and restored. Several are displayed on the outside wall in our office area, protected by clear glass, and others were placed on the inner office wall with electric lighting behind them. When these are lit during evening events, they really do become our illuminated wall decorations. Turn and face the north side to view the large children's window. This window and the one titled "The Man Born Blind" by the north door were created by the artist Gustav Weissmann. They were designed and made in his studio in Goodwood, Ontario. The glass was imported from France, Germany, and England. View the left or west side panel first, starting in the middle. Note the baby Moses in a basket in the Blue River. He was hidden here and tended to by his sister. The Pharaoh thought there were too many Hebrews and decided that all newborn male babies would be killed. The baby was discovered by the princess and was raised in the palace. He became a great leader and a prophet. Look upwards to see the tablets of the 10 Commandments which were given to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. Note the hand of God on the right side. Look down now below the basket with Moses to see the massacre of the innocents from the New Testament. King Herod had heard that a king had been born, and he ordered all male babies under the age of 2 living in or around Bethlehem be executed. Note the malevolent face of Herod's soldier on the left with the dagger in his hand. See the heads rolling to the left and to the right. You'll see Mary's worried face and Jesus looking towards Egypt in safety. Now look beneath this image to see Joseph receiving the coat of many colors from his father. See the Star of David, which reminds us of Jesus' Jewish heritage and the ghettoization of the Jews. Beneath this scene, you will see the oldest parents in the world, Abraham and Sarah, in a loving embrace. View the center panel with the Star of Bethlehem at the top. Jesus is shown surrounded by children in this playful and loving scene. The disciples would have discouraged the children from approaching Jesus, but he welcomed them. Let them come unto me. Beneath this happy scene, there is the figure of Abraham ready to sacrifice his son. You can see the knife unsheathed but not raised. His son Isaac lies still and obedient. An angel's arm cuts across the scene like a barrier to stop him. A ram caught in a thicket is sacrificed instead. View the right or east panel with the dove at the top. The dove reminds us of Noah's Ark and the dove descending upon Jesus at his baptism. Under the dove, the father of a young girl is begging Jesus to heal his very sick daughter. Note how white her face is. This is like a cinematic image with frame-by-frame movement. The father is appealing and Jesus is responding as he bends forward and Tabitha rises up. Beneath this scene, you'll see Jesus working alongside his father in his carpenter shop. You'll see another Star of David. Look below to see Jesus teaching in the temple at age 12. Throughout this large 3-panel window, you will see the theme of hands. The hand of God, the hand of the angel, the soldier's hand holding the knife, healing hands, working hands.